Hi everyone, welcome to Python learning series for network engineers. In this series we'll see how to do Fortigate API automation using Python. In the previous series where I have created 7 videos on how to do Fortigate CLA automation using Python. In that series I have explained how to read a CSV file, frame command and push to Fortigate device for creating objects like IP address object or MAC address object, and how to filter the output, how to parse output using regular expression, etc. I'll add that video URL also in the description and notification. If you're interested, you can have a look into that playlist as well. Now in this series we'll be primarily focusing on APIs. So to demonstrate APIs, first I'll be demonstrating using browser, then we will move into Postman. We'll see how to initiate API connection from Postman, then we'll move into Python. And here we will see how to get API details from firewall and what are the authentication supported in Fortigate firewall for API, then how to validate the Json data what we are sending, then how to frame an API request, and then we will see how to do it from Python script. Now let's move into Fortigate's documentation. This is Fortigate's official documentation. Here they have given some overview about REST API. So REST API can be used to retrieve, create, update and delete configuration settings. REST stands for representational state transfer. This typically works based on HTTP methods. That means each resource will be accessible via certain URLs, and the data what we are going to pass is going to be in JSON or XML format. So the advantage with the traditional CLA method compared to traditional CLA method is this data is going to be a structured format, so you don't have to do manual parsing. You will be getting a key value pair and you will be able to see the data in a structured format. And here you can see the authentication supported in Fortigate firewall. So first is session based authentication and second is token based authentication. We will see both in detail. Now about session based authentication, so this will be valid per login session. It will be almost similar as we log into the firewall. Once we log in, we'll have a cookie available in the browser, and until that cookie is valid we should be able to do the task. It is same as that. And here once user logs in, user will be getting a cookie and CSRF token. I'll demonstrate that as well, how to do it from Postman. Now if you want to verify the CSRF token and the session cookies, what we can do, we'll right click on the browser, can click on inspect applications and cookies. So now you can see there is no cookies. Let me just log into the firewall. When I logged in, I got 3 cookies here. You can see here CSRF token, and we can verify that in the document. Here you can see Fortigate will respond back with 3 cookies with variables, and these are the cookies. Now when we do any kind of API operations, we'll be using these cookies. Here we should be able to see one URL, one API URL. This is one example URL where you will be getting all the address objects configured in the firewall. You can test it from browser itself. So let me copy this. I'll change to Fortigate IP 0.21, and you can see here I have received all my address objects. This came in a JSON format. And if we go to the UI, and policy and objects, I'll click on address. Here you can see I have multiple IP address objects created, IP 0, 1, 2, 3, and here you'll be able to verify that name and its IP address. Now I'm able to access the API because I already have cookie available in my browser. Let us verify it here. We'll go to application. You can see I already have cookies available. Now let me delete the cookies. Now you can see it automatically logged out. So now let me try hitting the API again. This is one example API to get address. So you can see I'm getting unauthorized. So this means this session works based on the user cookies. Now let me log in again. Now I have received cookie, and let us do another level of inspection here. We'll see what type of request is going from the browser. So for that, here you can see the recorder is running. So let me just try hitting refresh. Yeah, I received data, and you can see it is what type of request it is. It is request method was get, and you can see the URL what I used, the same URL what we have used here, and by default it is taking cookie, so I am able to access the Fortigate API. Now we will verify that from Postman how to do that. On Postman I'll create a new collection. Collection is nothing but a folder where you can group all the requests. I'll create it as 05 Fortigate demo. And inside that I'll create a request, and let me put the same URL what I accessed earlier. So here you can see I'm getting 401 unauthorized because I haven't authenticated the user. Here to authenticate, either I can use the Postman's interceptor so that it can intercept with my browser's connection. You can enable that here, Postman interceptor, and it automatically can fetch that cookie, and this Postman would be able to send a request. Or another method, in the document you can see, you can go and hit one particular URL, which is Fortigate IP/login_check. Once you hit this, and if you pass this data, the credentials, you will get the cookies in Postman itself, and same cookie you can use for connecting to the device. So now let us verify that. I'll save this as 01 get address. For our reference I'm just creating it. Yeah. And I'll create one more request here. That is going to be post method. We can verify that in the document. So it is going to be HTTP post request. If you want to see the HTTP method details, here get can retrieve resource or collection of resources, post will create resource, put can update the resource, and delete will delete. And this is the RFC of API. You can see even the details here. We don't have to go so deep into it. You can just understand the overview. You can see the methods it supported, the standard methods available for APIs. Now let us go to Postman, and I'll put HTTP and login check. and here we need to pass the data, the username and password. Since my Fortigate firewall is trial version, I can only initiate HTTP connection to it. In your case, if it is a licensed version, you can even initiate HTTPS. In that case, what we need to do is, you can even disable, if you're getting SSL validation error, you can disable SSL certificate verification, or if it is production, make sure you are having a valid certificate available in the Fortigate. So this is, if you disable this, it is not going to be a secure method, so you need to have a valid certificate in the Fortigate. Yeah. Now, so what we can do here, we can, so once you give the URL here in the section, go to body, then select raw, and I'll copy this content. Put it here, and in my case, my Fortigate username is admin and password is password at 123. Now before sending the request, we'll verify the cookies. So here we don't have any cookies. Let me just try sending this post request to login check, and I have received a response from Fortigate. Now you can see I have received 3 cookies, same as our browser. Now we will see the get request. We can save this as well so that we can reuse again. I'll rename this as 00 login. Yeah. Now let me try sending the request again, the get request for address. Yes, now I have received the request. Here also we should be able to see all the objects what is available in the firewall. So we can see the IP address object, IP1, and the subnet, all these details. Similar to that, if you need to get the policies, what we can do is, we give policy, it will try getting the policies. Now I don't have any policies configured in the firewall, so I'm not getting anything. And if you're having multiple VDOMs, what we can do is, we can even define the VDOM name here. Now we will see how to send or delete configuration using the same authentication method, the session based authentication. So if you want to get the API details of configuring the device, for example, we can log into Fortigate. Then first we'll try creating one object. Let me just delete all these objects. I'll try creating one address object. I'll give the name IP_01/32. Now if you want to see the equivalent API of this, here in Fortigate 7.0 we have an option where we should be able to see the data which we are going to pass to the device. Let me just copy this, and we will keep this for our reference. And now while sending this configuration to the device, when I click on OK, actually this UI, what it does, it also hits to the same API. Now if you want to verify that, let me just click on inspect again, network, and I'll click on OK. I'll stop the recording. Now we have a lot of data here. We need to identify the post data. So this is the data which passed for configuring the device. You can verify it. The name, and by default it is adding even vdom. You can see the URL which it is hitting, API version 2 CMDB firewall address, and the method is post, and data which it is passing is this is the data which it passed. If you compare it, both are going to be same. Now we will see how to hit this from Postman, and here before that we'll verify this documentation. Here what they are saying is HTTP post put and delete method require CSRF token, and get request do not require CSRF token, because we were not passing any CSRF token earlier, we were just passing only the cookies. So we'll see that. Now without that, let us just try sending the API request once, and then we'll change with CSRF token. So I'll create another request here. I'll save this as 02 post address, and method is going to be post, and here address is, this is going to be address, and here in data I'll put same content. Let me copy, put it here. I'll change this to IP2, and I'll try sending this. You can see here I'm getting 401 unauthorized. Let me try logging in again, and I have cookies here. I'll try sending the configuration. Still I'm getting 403 forbidden. So that means this is expecting CSRF token for configuring the device. That means for the post method it is expecting a CSRF token. So we'll see how to set that CSRF token. Here they have given some example. So we need to pass this as a header, HTTP header, and x-CSRF token. Now we can get that CSRF token from the cookie. Click on cookies, and so this is our CSRF token. Now we need to put that into our header. So this is my post request for address. Here we need to click on the header and x-CSRF token, and I'll put this here. We can verify it once again. So x-CSRF token, and we need to put the token. Now let us try sending it. Now you can see I have received success message, HTTP status 200. That means device has accepted the configuration request. We'll verify it in the firewall. Yes, I have received IP2 also from my Postman request. Now if I want to put multiple IPs, what we can do is I'll copy this, put it, and I'll change this to 3, 4, and I can make it as a list, and I'm passing same token because it might be valid. So yeah, I got 200. Okay, we'll verify it here. Yes, it has configured. 2 more address objects here. But in case of session based authentication, you always need to make sure you are passing the CSRF token, and it is even possible with Python. In Python, first you need to initiate the connection to firewall, then get the token, then add that into all the API requests. But there is one more method which is available. It is API token based authentication. We will see that also, but before that we'll see how we can do it little more dynamic in Postman. Like now we are manually copying and pasting the CSRF token each time, so we'll see how we can automatically get that. So to get that, what we can do is, here when we do the login check, we get cookies here, see CSRF token. So what we can do, we will take this value and put it into an environment variable, and that environment variable we will refer in all our post requests. In that way you don't have to manually go and paste the token value here, so it will automatically fetch. So let's see how to do that. In the next section we'll see how to do this. If you use the token based authentication, it is easy. You don't have to do all this. You can just directly give a static API key for all your requests. But in some cases, if you don't have any API key and if you want to do it, you can follow this method. So now to get the CSRF token into a variable, what we can do, we can click on test, and here you need to put this. What it does is, it will create a variable with CSRF token inside the environment. So I can create a new environment. I'll create it as Fortigate. Yeah, I'll click on that here. And here what it does, it will create a CSRF token environment variable. It will first try getting this value, and then it will slice, because by default from the token it will take even the quotes. So to strip that, we are doing a slice in 1 and -1. So the first and the last letter we are slicing, and then we are storing this as a CSRF token. So let me just try running it. Now I have received a new token. So we'll verify that it is 𝗙683. We can go to environment variable, and you can see it is already stored into 𝗙683. And now if I want to send a post request, I don't have to set like this. I can just pass the environment variable, the same name I need to give. Now if I mouse over it, you can see it dynamically fetched that value. Now let me just try sending it. So before that, I need to change this to another IP. Yeah, request is successful, and it dynamically fetched the CSRF token. Now we'll verify that. Yes, it has created. Now even to delete a particular value also you can use same method, but while deleting it, what we need to do is, let us just go to Postman and click on delete, and I'll give the address name here. IP_06 will delete. And we don't need any message body here, so let us just try sending it. Yeah, it got deleted, so let us verify it. Yeah, you can see here it is getting deleted. Now we'll save this as well. Just click on save as and just call it 03 delete address. And now if you want to verify the delete operation from UI, click on inspect, and from network now let me just stop this, and we can verify that the API request what we initiated for delete. Yeah, here you can see there is a delete request. Yeah, and here within the delete request we will be passing the CSRF token, same as they have mentioned in the document. By default it is passing. So here you can see read request do not require CSRF token, but when you do a post, put or delete you need CSRF token. I hope now you have a clear understanding on session based authentication in Fortigate. And in same way you can even create policy or any other object, and you can just see the method, the API request from the Fortigate UI itself. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. In the next video we'll see how to do the token based authentication, where we'll be using a static token. In that time we don't have to maintain any sessions. We'll be going to the system administrator, will be creating API user and will be passing that from Postman. We'll see those options. See you in the next video.